Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm gonna be doing a tutorial on how to create a Minecraft sword texture using paint.net. So the first thing you're gonna want to do if you don't already have paint.net is install it using this website right here, and it is free as you can see here. So once you have that installed, you're gonna want to open it up, and so you're gonna want to delete whatever just showed up here. And so you're gonna hit Control N, or you're gonna go to File and New. And then, so when you're making a Minecraft base sword, it's going to be in the 16 by 16 resolution, but you can always scale it up to 32 by 32 or 64 by 64 and so on. So for now, we're going to do 16 by 16. So, but the problem we have now is that it's all white, right? And you need to be transparent so that in game it doesn't show up as a square with the sword in the middle. So you're going to hit Control A to select all, and then hit your delete key. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start at the bottom, or at least that's how I start. So you start making the little hilt at the bottom, and then I usually just do a square, and then from there you start making the handle. So I usually go up 3 or 4, and then if you need to erase, just make sure you set your brush size to 1 and hardness all the way up, and then click the alias rendering so that it doesn't well, I'm gonna show you what it looks like if you don't do it. It's gonna look like this, and you want it to erase the whole thing. So after you've made your handle, you're gonna want to move on to the hilt, or like the middle of the sword. So usually I do something like this. I think this is how the base sword is in Minecraft. But it's up to you. There's different ways of doing it too. Like you can always make it a lot shorter if you want as well. Like for example, you could do something like this. Right, so let's just leave it like that for now. So now when you're making the actual blade of the sword, there's different ways you can do it. So the regular Minecraft version is all the way up here like this. But if you're making a texture pack for PvP, it's probably better for you to make it a shorter sword. So you can make it like this long, and then so you could have it like a triangle at the top like this. So without a slant, or you can make it look slanted like this. This is another popular one I see. So once you've made the outline of the sword, now you need to move on to what colors you're going to want to be using. So for this one, let's just say I'm going to be using a red. So you go down over here to the color selector and choose what color of red you want. I'm just choosing for now the base red that's over here. So we're going to color the inside of the blade. For me, that's how I like to start it out. And then you want to choose a darker color for these middle lines here. You don't have to, but that's how I usually do it. And then I want to go even darker from that, because I don't want the outline of it to be black. I want it to be more, I just want it to be a really dark red so it's not too contrasted. I think we're going to go a little darker than this, and this as well. But right now, this just looks it just looks too bland, right? You need to add some shading in here. So the first step I do is, first I just write down all of my colors, or I just put them down here. If I'm gonna like make a whole texture pack and I'm gonna use the same color scheme for all the other tools. So what you want to do is you want to take the base color right here, and then you want to just take it down by like I'm gonna go for 10. So I'm gonna make this darker over here. I'm gonna put that down right there, and then I'm gonna go 5 more shades darker to make it a little bit darker. So as it goes down, or not 5, I'm gonna go to 10 again, and then I'm gonna do one that's a little lighter. So instead of changing this one to make it lighter, you need to change the whiteness of it. So it looks like that, but you can't really notice it. So I'm I'm gonna make it a little wider than that. Like that. Put that down here. Then I'm gonna make it wider again. Then boom. So that's just how I'm gonna have the base sword look for now. So now I'm gonna go through as well on just the outline of the sword and change the colors too a little bit so that it matches with the inside of the sword. So since it's darker down here, I'll leave these colors already that were already here. But I'm gonna take the color, I'm gonna brighten it up a little bit, put it to 30. Put that right there. And then so for this part that's obviously brighter than the rest of the sword, I'm gonna go even brighter than this one. So I'm gonna go up by 10 again. And it's gonna look like that. So right now that's not bad for like a base sword, but there's some more stuff we can do. But first I wanna move on to the middle of the sword first. To remove that one right there. Alright, so we're gonna take some of the colors from over here. It doesn't matter too much how you color this one, because it looks mostly the same for all of them. So I'm gonna take the base one, put it here, the lighter one. So now you have a or you could also do the middle part brown, but for me I like to keep it the same color as the sword up here. So, or for example, you can make this part with red inside and then the middle part with black or brown. But I don't really like to do that. I like to keep the middle part and the bottom part as black. So I'm going to show you. So first we got to pick like a color that's not too dark and not too light. So we're going to go to like 10. Or no, we can go higher than that. We can go like, let's try out 19. Okay, that's a decent color. So, and then from there we can do the same things that we were doing up with the blade of the sword. So we're gonna get a darker shade of this, like maybe 14. Just put it in some random spots. Then you're gonna go higher than 18. You're gonna go to like 23, and there you go. And then just make it a little brighter. Where the lighter parts of the hilt are, like here and here. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. So we're just gonna copy that color scheme from the middle of the sword to the bottom of the sword. As you can see, there we go. So now we got the sword looking pretty good already, but there's some more stuff we can do. So if you select all the blade of the sword and then go to adjustments, there's a lot of more stuff you can do here. You can mess with the brightness and contrast. Usually I like to tone the contrast a little bit by like 10, or not 10, 5 I mean, and then I like to lower the brightness just a bit to 15. And then after that I'll go to exposure, and then I'll just raise it to 25. And then the last thing I like to do is change the hue and saturation. Whoops. I don't mess with the hue too much unless I'm changing the colors of the sword. But I'll lower the saturation, or I'll lower the saturation to like 75. And that's the kind of color that I like. So after that, I'll go into the same exact thing over to the other red part. Alright, there we go. And then for the middle and the bottom of the sword, I usually don't like to do too much because it's normally fine how it is. Alright, so that's how you make a basic Minecraft sword texture using paint.net. So after you've done that, you hit Control S to save, and then you just title it diamond underscore sword, and that's how it should work with the Minecraft files. Then you hit save, okay, and then you can close out the app. Anyways, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.